All right, it's time to play E.T.N.
It is.
You boys both grew up at one point up north in the winter, right?
Yes.
Remember when you were a kid, when you were excited that a snowstorm was going to blow through, and sometimes you would just kind of stare out the window and wait on the snow to come? That's how I feel waiting on the Daly's Dash arrival this morning. Just thought I'd share that with you. I just been standing at the front door with my hands against the glass, just staring out, waiting for that sustenance to arrive.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Zach will be our guest Guggen judge today.
Zach Attack, baby.
You know what I'll do? Beef, do we have a prize pack for Zach already?
We do.
We'll throw some Daly's Dash deliciousness in on that as well.
Look at Zach Attack's a big winner. Yeah, Zach's going to go home with one of these lovely limited
courtesy
edition
of Dan Hicken, by the way.
Trevor Lawrence Jaguars commemorative footballs.
All right, I'll do it. I'll throw in a lift power forklift, too.
Throwing it a wave.
I'm going to give you a wave.
A wave machine.
I'll buy you a wave, Zach.
We saw how dangerous those were.
He may wave at you for free, Zach.
Let's keep it simple.
And also, Zach will get a 4-pack of vouchers to see the Jumbo Shrimp in action. Final homestand starts today through the 25th.
What's up, Zach?
What's going on, boys?
Hey, Zach.
How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, sitting in some traffic.
All right, good. Perfect. I'll give you some free time right here to get yelled and screamed at. Are you ready?
Shall we?
Let's do it.
All right.
Round one.
Round one, guys, we'll start in the NFL where, look, we're 2 weeks in the NFL season. It's still early to make definitive judgments about teams, but according to the numbers, it's under 12% to make the postseason at 0-2. So I'm not talking about the Jags,
okay,
but looking at the 0-2 teams around the league, which one would you think is most likely, I'm not saying any of them will, but most likely to rebound from 0-2 and push for the postseason? Those teams, just for the record, Atlanta, Minnesota, Detroit, the New York Giants, also Indy, Jacksonville, and the Jets.
All right, well, this one's easy. So
great. You go ahead first then, Fred.
I think it's my turn to go first this week, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one answer, so I'm sorry, Jeff. I'll just
Jets.
take the point. It's Minnesota. They could easily be 2-0. They've got a lot of talent. If their kicker can make a kick, they lost in overtime to the Bengals, and then they lose to Arizona. If their kicker makes a kick, they're 2-0. And quite honestly, the rest of the teams, I mean, good luck trying to make an argument for them. So, to me, it's the Vikings.
I think the Colts are every bit as viable as the Vikings are. The division has looked kind of sketchy to start here. Obviously, Carson Wentz is going to have to be healthy. There's no Green Bay Packers lurking in this division, and I'd say the Bears are as good as whoever the second-place team would be. So the Colts are off to a rocky start. All the 0-2 teams are. Quite frankly, I don't think any of them are making the postseason, including your quote-unquote obvious pick, the Vikings. I do not think the Vikings are going to make the playoffs.
I don't know. I think the Vikings with Dalvin Cook and that wide receiver duo going Vikings when it's in.
Round two.
We are on the board.
Hurts my soul.
We're off and running.
My soul has joined the Jags locker room. It's hurt.
In my soul.
Listen, Jeff, we'll break this right.
It is well.
It is well.
It's old school. Hymns. We're going old school here.
Speaking of those
we could all
Vikings,
use a little hymn every now and then.
I'm telling you, more than we know.
Speaking of those Vikings you mentioned, Dan,
Yes,
they
sir.
share a division with the team that was victorious on Monday Night Football last night, the Packers.
Oh, goal, pack, goal.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions about Green Bay after getting blown out by New Orleans in Week 1. Granted, Detroit's not a world beater, but did Green Bay sufficiently answer those questions last night?
Well, there weren't any questions. By the way, Green Bay has the longest streak in the NFL without a 2-game losing streak. The Packers are fine. They've got the best quarterback in the division for sure, and one of the best, 3 or 4 in all of football. That division's not real good. They don't play a lot of offense, in Chicago and Detroit. So Green Bay will be fine. They'll waltz to another North.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. However, I looked up at halftime last night, and I saw the Detroit Lions leading the Green Bay goal pack go 17-14. And, next Sunday night, Green Bay's got to go across the country and play the 49ers. So when you go and beat San Francisco in San Francisco or come back home and then take on Pittsburgh and you win those 2 games, then you got nothing to worry about. Again, that division, Packers favorites, Aaron Rodgers good, yeah. But 17-14 against the Lions does raise a couple flags.
Packers are too good to have anything to worry about. Winter Frost.
Round 3.
I tried, Zach. Felt like beef put me in a corner, and you don't back baby in a corner.
Dan at the time of his life. Round 3, the bane of social media through 2 weeks of the NFL season. It's not performance on the field.
Okay.
It's the performance of the officials in the league, namely this taunting rule that is driving people just absolutely loco. Pete Carroll yesterday said it's a whole can of worms, and that's probably a good description for it. So is it something that can stick? Will the NFL stick with it, or will it be like the PI challenges that will modify this rapidly?
And they sort of just disappear into the ether zone. What happened? What happened? I thought we were all ready to have fun in the NFL. What happened? We're celebrating touchdowns. We're all together. We're all running to the camera in the end zone when we get a turnover, and everybody was happy. And now out of the blue, a bunch of stuffed shirts, and you can go look at the list of the dudes who make this rule, come up with this nonsense. And here's the problem. Going to cost somebody a game. It's going to cost a game. And when it does, then everything's going to when it's one of the NFL's premier teams and it costs them a game, it won't be here long. It won't be here long.
Yeah, I'm going to reserve right on this one until it happens in a Jaguar game and we can see just how stupid it is up close and personal. Look, there's nothing wrong with trying to keep sportsmanship alive. I know it's a slippery slope. I'd hate to curtail someone's freedom not to hover over an opponent and flex on them after they make an 8-yard catch. We've gotten a little bit too celebratory with the average in the NFL. A guy breaks up a pass and struts around midfield like he just won the Super Bowl. So there's a line there that might need to be judged a little bit better. But until we get some uniformity to it, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be called in one game or during one game and then not later. But I need to be personally offended. It won't. It'll happen soon. The Jags game. It's coming. We haven't had anything to taunt, have we?
Frost, you're getting soft. Winter Dan.
Yeah.
Round 3.
What am I supposed to do?
New age Jeff.
Agree? I agree with Dan.
I like that.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
nice.
what I'm going to do.
Agree passionately, and maybe he'll side with you.
Yeah, maybe he will. You don't know.
Round 4.
I don't need any tutoring from either one of you two, okay?
Look.
I stand on my E.T.N.
This is why we do the guest judges. This is why we do it.
why.
This is why. I was an emotional wreck. I was a shell. Round 4. We've heard this tune before.
Oh, no, I left the daily stuff at home. My bad.
We've heard this tune before. In fact, we heard it last week. Dan Mullen, meeting with the media, sounded pretty confident, or made it sound like there was a pretty good chance Anthony Richardson was going to suit up and play against Alabama. Maybe he was just spinning a web. He spun the same tune yesterday about Anthony Richardson. So do you think we'll see Richardson Saturday night against Tennessee, and how much is enough to satisfy these thirsty Gator fans?
Well,
that want to see him?
listen, told you this week, last time this week that he wasn't playing. At least, Dan Mullen was playing possum. I'm sure Alabama knew that. We tried to be as clear about that here on the radio as we could be. And now we tiptoe into a different direction from this standpoint. The positive of Anthony Richardson not playing is that Emory Jones had to, and he answered the challenge. And so now moving forward, you're going to have a veteran quarterback with some confidence and then another guy that you can insert into the offense. But I'll say this, there are 2 games left on this Florida schedule based on how they played against Bama. And those 2 games are LSU and Georgia. I'm not rushing Anthony Richardson back in a 21-0 first half lead against Tennessee this week. Now, that doesn't mean you don't want him to play. But he better be 100% over that hamstring injury. I'm not risking him for a more important, moment down the line.
Well, 2 things. One, he ain't going to be 100%, so that's your decision if you're not going to play him. There's no way. 1 week does not heal a hamstring, no matter what Dr. Mullen says, with all due respect. And, he was right to not play him against Alabama because you don't want him to get hurt. But if that's your attitude, then you should not play him again this week. We've talked to Doc Murphy numerous times about hamstrings, and we all know that situation. But to answer your part B of your question is how long until, what did you say, the bloodthirsty Gator fans?
Well, how much is enough?
Yeah, well,
enough?
I'll answer that. I was in the swamp on Saturday, and when Emory Jones threw his first incomplete pass, the student body began chanting AR-15. So, there's no winning for poor Emory Jones in that situation. The fans, they
want him.
They want to see, 15.
I say save AR for LSU and Georgia. Winter Frost.
And so it goes.
Is that the game?
Prepare to die, apparently.
No.
Oh.
It's round 5. Prepare to
Welcome
die.
to round 5.
You're
And
just
prepare
itching.
to
You want
die.
to come in here and wash his feet during this answer? You seem to be so desirous of Dan winning this contest.
What are you talking about? He said winner Pross. He was under the assumption that you had won. He wanted to come in and rub your shoulder.
Well, then I take it back.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll give you a sandwich.
I thought he'd already
that
gotten
alone
to.
should give me round 5, Zach.
Listen, you go
an
in the wrong
egregious
order.
fact error.
I
by
did.
Pross, man.
It's the first time I've ever made one.
pandering for fact errors?
I've never made an error before on this show.
Never.
So, a historic achievement.
Just happened.
By me. Lastly,
Let's guess the question Beef's going to ask.
Go
Will
ahead.
it be about Salvador Perez?
go ahead. What am I going to ask?
No, I'm not.
I think
Sons
he's
of
going to
biscuits.
ask about
this.
the.
This is
what-
why. This is why.
Okay.
That's why we only do it once
This-
a week.
This is why, Zach. How's it feel?
This is
Are
where
you in the
I.
fetal position in your car?
This is what I think. I think it's a Ryder Cup question.
You're 100% right, Jeff.
Do I get a point for that or no?
You do. Winner Jeff, Tennessee
you.
whiskey.
Okay.
Let's go to break.
No,
Thank you, Zach. Here's
look,
your.
Ryder Cup starts Friday.
Yes.
According to the Vegas odds, USA is a minus 200 favorite. But how confident are you?
2-1 favorite, Dan Hicken. How confident are you?
I'm very confident. Because in the end, listen.
We've been so good in this event. through the
No,
years.
we haven't. But I'm
Well,
going
it's 4 or 5.
to be honest with you, man. I mean, at some point, there's 2 things: home soil and talent wins out. So yeah, the Europeans are a nice story, and you know what? Ian Poulter plays well in the Ryder Cup. Yeah, Ian Poulter ain't beating Dustin Johnson. Okay, we are loaded for bear on this squad. We'll keep them apart a little bit. No big deal. You know, we're not all staying in the same bed and breakfast up there at Whistling Straits.
Cabins, I believe we call them.
We're all in
Cabins.
different spots, different.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing the pods again. We'll do some pod work and keep the boys away, just so Brooks and Bryson are on A and F. You know, but talent wins out. Home soil wins out. Red, white, and blue wins out. JP.
Who's the best golfer in the world right now? John Rahm. Where's he live? Does he
Spain,
live,
Jeff.
Does he
Spain.
live in Florida? Am I missing something here? It's the U.S. against Europe. I appreciate your patriotism here, but throwing out the world rankings and we're better than them, I mean, that's the same story you've been singing for 20 years, and we never win. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful the U.S. will win, but that silver spoon tends to get kind of lodged over there next to the larynx, next to the tonsils. That silver spoon starts to tarnish once the Euros come with their ole, ole, ole. So
Dime bet. Dime bet.
you wouldn't do it if you
Do
could.
it right now.
But here's the reality is this. This will be the biggest choke of all time if we lose. The U.S., 8 of their players are in the top 10 in the world golf rankings. Europe has 1. So I don't know what to tell you if they don't do it this time.
Home soil, golf course built for bombers, and we got plenty of them. I'm sitting in traffic and could use a shot of Fireball. Winner Dan.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about, Zack Attack! Woo! Let's party! Get it out, Beef. Dust it off.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you,
It
Zach.
is a dusty bottle.
Woo! I'm on fire, baby.
HMU.
HMU. Let's go. Raise it high, Beef. Raise it high.
To the
Raise it
heavens.
high to sweet victory.
To the heavens.
Here we go. Fireball.